Okay, what are we doing here?
And not worry about it.
Introduce the.
Oh, I'll explain to you. I'm just usually I leave everything on and I don't worry about it. It's not like as soon as I press that, go, and you let it be on. Okay. I like to it's kind of what I call a warm up period. It's like get used to like the cameras being like on and not even think it's there anymore. Because in post production, you just chop it all out anyway, and you don't use it. So then you just kind of free flow with it. So that's why I usually free flow, and it doesn't need to be a sequence either. Of like when you're filming, you don't have to say, all right, well, I'm starting off like this. You can do the intro at the end, and then eventually you bring that intro back to the beginning. Yeah. I like the free flow of things, it's more natural, and otherwise you feel like, oh, like what am I supposed to say? Oh, I'm not in sequence, and like don't worry, just natural is better.
All right. Okay.
When you first come on to, I'm going to open up a new project, so you have an idea of what a new project looks like.
What tool are we going to go over today? This is just Premiere?
This is Premiere Pro. Okay. All right, so this is what you see as soon as you come onto the platform. Okay. And then you're like, okay, what do I do now, right? The main thing is you should, this is the editing window. You have multiple type of windows, but you don't have to worry about that now, right? For example, if you want to change up your audio, it'll bring up a different window like this, but you can't tell anything right now because there's no media that's even in there. So this is the editing window that you should only be concerned about. So I'm just showing you like a drag and drop, right? Yeah. So you can you drag the drop of the media, you can put it right here, and it's really simple, right? Okay. Or you can drop here. Usually I drop it here because I like to work it right away, and boom. And then what happens is you will see it loads up. Okay. So now you see the media all right here, but so for me, I use hotkeys, right? The main thing is just drag and drop and just play with it and understand what's going on. So now you see, oh, I'm dragging it, right? Down here is the audio. Okay, I'm gonna show you the audio window. So I'm gonna make it a little bigger so you have an idea of like, I'm gonna open up this space a little bit more.
Top area, is the top area of the video?
The top area here is the video. So if you make it big enough, you can actually see the video.
Okay,
right?
Great.
So
makes sense.
Now the main thing when you're editing is you're usually cutting. It's a splice tool. There's a tool right here is to cut. I think it's right here, the razor tool. C, right? So I just press C. I don't even touch anything here most of the time, and I press C. Okay. So most of the time, wherever this line is the playhead, right here. So wherever that is, like say for example, there's a dead space right there. I can tell by looking at the audio, I can tell where dead space is, and usually that's where I make my cuts. It's really easy. So I watch the video and I see the dead space. Dead space, maybe I'm looking at something that's important for you to see, maybe not, right? But I'm just gonna give you an example. You know what? I'm gonna cut it right about here. You see this line? My razor tool's out. That you can tell from that little razor looking thing. And I cut my video, right? When I cut the video, now you can see I can move that away. Now it's two separate videos. So I told you, like I usually like to batch work, like cut out crap stuff that I don't need. It's very time consuming, and then like of course I have other hotkeys where I can bring them back and stuff like that. So like undo, like say I want to cut this out, boom, and then I can press delete. D is for delete. That's my hotkey. Boom, it's gone, right? And then if I want to bring it back, there's another button I use to kind of draw them all back, right? I'll delete that empty spaces. I use that hotkey as F. Okay. So now I'm zooming out again. All right, all these hotkeys here is my own default. I set it up. People have it differently, but this is my favorite piece. Everything is with my left hand here, so I don't have to go here. I don't have to go here. It's annoying and it's really time consuming. So it's almost like I'm playing the piano, but like while I'm editing. Okay. So now let's go back into the beginning, right? And it's been a while since. So this was the very first time I did Airbnb, and I used this site here. Sorry, and I'm talking with you. Like I said, I'm talking quick super update slow. With you guys. I'm sorry, I probably smoked right before this. I'm currently looking at a place in Baltimore. I decided I was going to do something with Airbnb. I was quite inspired. You see? I must have smoked. I was probably high as fuck. All right, so anyway, you see, like for me, I was trying to fix this video, okay? And I was like, all right, how do I make because this is super slow. I would play this at like 150% speed, right? Yeah. So like, how do I do that? All right, well, I have a hotkey for that, and I can increase the speed to like say 150%.
Just the audio or
everything? This whole video clip I just touched. Remember, I already cut it here, so now it becomes two separate. I'm only messing with this one clip, right? So I made it to now 150%. Watch what happens to to the actual video clip, the whole thing.
Yeah, shortens, right?
Boom, shortens. There you go. You got it. And then watch what happens to the video.
It's been a while since I talked with you. Quick update with you guys.
Okay, so now I sound like a chipmunk, but that's because like it took down. But there's ways to correct it, and it's annoying. I hate the audio part of video editing.
Why don't you just redo the audio then? Right? Isn't that faster than playing with your own voice?
So the issue is that I have myself talking here, and then I can probably take the whole audio off and narrate it in the back. I consider doing that because this is like the very first. It's kind of like the very first one. Like I become a real estate mogul because of all the stuff I did, and everyone wants to know how I started. Right now people don't care. I'm not that recognized. But later on, as I continue on my journey and build up, more, momentum, people are gonna want to know how I very first started. I'm like, here you go, you see, But right now, I don't think I'm gonna play with this video because it's just way too much work. But I think the idea for you to understand is like the whole platform, right? So, for example, I know a fun one for you. All right. So, for example, you want to see what you can do. This is the effects panel right here. You get to, for example, this video.
The transitions.
Yeah, the transitions. So for example, I could make this from off the screen, and it's based off a timer, right? So now I have it here, and then by the end of the time, I'm gonna set this one here. Sorry, that there. I want this to come back onto screen. So I drag it back onto the screen and I set it there. All right, so I don't know where.
So that's only for a specific feature that you just selected.
So now I'm playing it. I started up. Boom.
Welcome everybody. It's been a while since I talked with you. Quick update with you guys.
Why is it?
I'm currently looking at it.
Oh, I know why. Because it's doing it over the course of the whole video. So that's too slow. Let me change the timing there. Something like that.
Okay.
So I start all over.
Welcome everybody. It's been a while since I talked with you. Quick update.
Just an idea, right?
I'm currently looking at it.
This is one transition of just moving it up. Then of course, I'm gonna delete this here. We don't. And it says you want to delete the keyframes. Yeah, I want to.
It's almost like what do you call it? PowerPoint. You use PowerPoint.
Yeah.
Where
So
you take slides and you just.
Oh yeah. So it has those animation functionalities as well. Yeah. So if you understand PowerPoint, you can. It's kind of similar in that way. So for example, same thing. I can scale it. So these are the two most popular ones that you use is positioning and scale, right? So for example, same thing I'm going to do. Start from the beginning of the video, right? That's where the playhead is, and I'm going to scale it to it's nowhere, and then I'm going to hit it. I don't know if that did anything.
That was a transition in, right? Because I'm guessing there's an in and out, right?
Yeah.
For
and then
each video.
From there, I'm going to. I didn't scale it. All right. So I'm gonna press that button. Now it sets the keyframe, and then something like that. And then I'm gonna set a new keyframe, and then this time I'm gonna bring it to 100% again, right? So then we watch it from the very beginning. Let me delete this empty space so I can. Boom. You see? So you can play around with that and you get better at it. So earlier you were like, oh, how do you do all the green screen stuff? So this one will be a fun one, right? I'm going to show you real quick. So right here, you have multiple tracks, right? And the tracks means that you can put, for example, let me just grab that video back here, right? I can put this video, I can move it. I can move it up a track. I can move the audio down a track. And I can move it right on top. So when it plays,
yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, when it plays, you can see.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and start. Serious security and insight. I'm already
62%.
So anyway, you can see that. All right. Now that you understand that concept, let me bring back a fun thing to do. I have a green screen, a subscribe button. All right, I put it somewhere. So for example, I downloaded this from YouTube. And I'll just drag it on, right? All right. So for example, I just dragged that on. Remember, to see it, you have to drag this playhead over it so you see it. And it's really annoying sometimes in the beginning. Sometimes I'm like, all right, I want to change this, and I'm like, okay, I changed all this here, and I'm like, why isn't it doing anything, right? Because sometimes it's clicked on something else, but you're watching it here, but like I'm playing around, like it's not moving, and then later I'm like, because I did not click this, you know. So you have to make sure that you click on the element, you know, and then you can get on. So this here, for example, subscribe button, right? So you're like, oh, well, what's this? Y 4 3 2 1, right? I'll just make it faster. So these different type of subscribe buttons, right? You're like, all right, well, how do you use this then? Well, I'll show you the magic of. Let's see. I'll just take this one here because I barely use this one, so I might as well. All right, I'm gonna cut it. Boom. Delete that. Don't need that crap. Okay. Delete that. Don't need the rest. Okay, and now drag that right over. Oop. I think I messed it up a little quick. There we go. I'm gonna drag that right over. Okay, so now you see there's the original clip, and then now that you have the green screen clip that I put there. Okay, but then you press play.
So I'm gonna go ahead.
You're like,
Use the website.
okay, well, you see, it's playing both. Everything, whatever comes across this path, it's going to play the sound, it's going to play the video.
How will it actually look though? Because right now it's only the green screen when you're.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, how do you fix that? All right, well, now you go click on that, and then there's a lot of like I don't know what they're calling it, like not like plugins, I guess. So in the effects panel here, you. I already have it in there. So key, right? Because it's called Ultra Key or Ultra Key or Chroma Key. They have different names for it.
So you installed it?
No, it comes default. It comes default with it, right? So what you do is you drag, you click on this and you drag it over and put it onto the actual clip itself.
Okay.
And then you'll see that it applies it. Now you see that little button FX, it turned green. Means that now it has an FX applied to it.
Okay.
All right. Now you're like, all right, well, that didn't do anything. We're not done. Now in the effects control right here, we have to scroll down a little bit, and there's this key color. This means that whatever color that you chose, you picked, it's going to remove it from the video. So I'm going to click on green. It's going to remove everything that's green.
Okay.
All right. So anyway, I figured it out in a different way. Okay. So pretty much I took this color picking tool and I clicked on that green part. Work properly. Okay. So you see that? Okay. So now it's showing up without the green part. Okay. You're like, all right, well, it's too big. Right? It does. All right. Well, let's just say I don't want all that bubbly sound, right? It's annoying me, and I can just click on that audio, but you know, there's a certain button you have to press, like Alt is my hotkey, and I'll just delete it. D is delete for me, and now I just have that, right? Nice. Okay. So now it's not annoying about that, right? Yeah. But it's kind of slow, so maybe I want a faster animation. So I have one as my speed, and instead of 12 seconds, I'm gonna drag it down to like maybe 3 seconds or something like that. Okay. Now, boom, you see, it shortened it up. Okay. But you know what? It's in the center of my screen. I don't want it there. It's too big, and it's So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drag that right here, and I'm gonna bring it down, right? And then it's also too big, so I'm gonna make it smaller, and drag it back down again, and boom, it's there. So let's go ahead and take a look at the effect.
And use the website Air DNA. What it does is
okay, cool. All right. So you know, don't mind me talking at 150% speed, but pretty much these are the main things for you to understand. Okay. And you can adjust the sound like it's.
Use the website.
Yeah, right this is a good start. You can drag. You can drag this down, and it makes the audio gain, meaning this right here. It brought it so that way it does not pass this level here, or I can bring it back up.
Or maybe not gonna go
right?
So you can see a lot of real good information.
There's a lot of different things you can do, right? So I just taught you the very basic stuff. Like really the most basic stuff that you're gonna need is that cut. You know, you find a video clip, you cut it, you find it again, you cut it, and then you delete. That's usually the most popular thing that you need to do. Right. Then delete this empty space, and that's really really that's the most basic thing that you need to learn.
Yeah.
All right. Don't
Yeah,
worry
yeah.
about all that other stuff. That is kind of like intermediate level.
Yeah.
You just need to do that to get started, and then
Okay.
once you have that and you're compiling it, it becomes storytelling. Now, storytelling is why I don't outsource my work to other people, because they don't know the story I want to tell. And then even I don't even know the story sometimes. And to create the story, you get to script it. And I'm like, I don't even know what to script. I only usually know it when I see the video. And after I see the video, I'm like, by the time I create it and write it, I'm like, I'll just do it myself. You know, it's like, it's right there for me. You know what I'm saying? Which is why most YouTubers end up doing it themselves, you know? And then because it's just really too much creative control that you don't want to release to someone else, that they don't understand what you're trying to do. Even you don't even know at that moment. So again, there's other things when you're done with the video is that you can like, oh, the sound and audio. That's the most biggest pain in the ass. Yes, outsource that stuff, because now it's not a creative thing anymore. Because now it's kind of like, hey, fix my audio, make it sound nicer. That's it. You don't have to think about, you don't have worrying about them, you know, choosing the right clips and stuff. You're thinking more about fixing something that is already there.
How do you replace audio? So like, let's say like you want to take out all of your audio and then you want to replace it. Let's say you record yourself.
Well, let's. How about I show you the audio clip, because now that you see that when you drag in another media, it takes up a track.
Yeah.
It depends on what audio clip. So maybe let me continue on with other stuff as well. Like let me drag
Do you have
in.
a recording of just MP3 and then you can import that?
You could do that, and I'll show you. Just I don't know about a picture, or I don't know why I have it right there. I think I was probably doing something. All right, so now I have a picture of just a picture, right? And there's no audio. So, you know, you can do whatever you want with a picture, and you can see it just shows up.
It's pretty decent on the 2 bedrooms.
Boom, you know, like, you know, picture. And you can't drag that picture into the audio side, you know, see? But you can drag it up, because this is where all the videos and pictures go. But if you want like an audio, so say for example, I just downloaded a bunch of like audio recently, so
this is cool.
it might be in my
tracks.
my downloads. Okay, so for example, chill summer music mix. You see that? It's like no over here, and then once you get there, but usually I don't want to put on the same line where I'm talking. I bring it down, you know, so it's more organized. Then I'm like, all right, good, cool. Then you just gotta wait. It usually has to render. You see that on the bottom right here. It's transferring over. It's a decent size. It's about 3 minutes, right? So now you start seeing the squiggly lines. I'm gonna make this a little bit larger so it's easier to see. Okay, and then let me make this smaller. So now I want you to see the waveform better. Okay, so this song I downloaded from YouTube. It's copyright. It's no copyright on it. Too loud. All right, so let me bring it down. You feel the DJ coming back in you? All right, so then same thing. You just go ahead and, so I have something here already. It's probably this thing here. I'm just gonna delete it. All right, I'm gonna drag that over. Okay, and then when we start the video.
Yeah, you got background music now. Yep.
Click on video.
And if you want to replace yourself, just delete it, right? Or minimize it. I got it.
Okay, simple. You want the sound. You want the sound to kind of close off in a certain way, and like make it evenly close off, right? So it's like.
Comment in description saying that you have more recordings.
What took? I didn't know what that before.
So next tutorial, you should do like how to find clips that are free, how to find images, green screens, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you see, by adjusting these things here, you're able to, you know, make the sound, you know, you taper it off, right? Towards the end. Usually that's how you close the video. So those are usually the very basics, and then going further, you know, we'll have to probably do in another video. But I think now that you understand, right? Most of it, I barely touch any other window. Most of the time was spent here. Now this mostly is your project window. Like a lot of your media files come here.
Okay.
And then when you click on this, you know, double arrow sign on the right, it chooses a different window. So most of the time, when I first start the video off, it has this, it comes up because you pull the media and boom, it collects it right here.
Okay.
But a lot of times I stay in the effects panel because I'm looking for a certain effect. For example, you want to transition, right? Like from one video to the next. I barely use transitions. So for example, black dissolve, I don't know, I barely use it. And you apply the transition, usually like say for example, from this video to the next, no, I'll use it. Okay, I'm losing battery power. So I'll drag and drop right there, boom, okay? So I don't know, it should do something.
Yeah, I see it.
It shouldn't happen yet. Like, huh? Nothing happened. Why?
I saw like it did dark.
Did it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it should happen like at the transition. But you can change the time when it starts and ends. So I don't know. I never used that one before. But that's the effects panel right there, and that's pretty much it. So hopefully I answered most of your questions.
Yeah. I think this is a good start. So.
Okay. Are you ready to edit?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, the Island Engineer right here. Okay. Waiting for his content.
Starting up the channel. So.
All right, and this is how it all starts right here. It's very basic.
Cavan Mitchell, thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
You got to start from somewhere. So hopefully you guys also learned a lot from this tutorial here. It's very basic, and yeah, you guys, I suggest the same thing. Just do it. It might not be perfect. Don't worry about being perfect. Just drop it every video out as soon as possible, and then later on, after like 35 videos, you get better.
Yep. If you like this, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and hit a thumbs up. Thanks, guys.